Travelers on the Omnibus occasionally touches on mature subject matter with mature language. As such, the audience discretion is advised.
Jody, can I talk to you real quick?
Yeah, man. What's up?
Yeah. I'm running out of bits, man. My bit meter is running low. I gotta let it recharge. So can you take over for tonight?
I might be able to mine some more bits for you.
Okay. Thank you. I gotta go to the deep dark cavern and to the bit mines and mine some more bits. So I'll let you take it over this time. Okay.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Travelers on the Omnibus, a field trip through cities of mist. I mean, nerd and pop culture. I'm Jody Kite.
I'm Ethan Skinner.
I'm also Ethan Skinner.
I'm Brady Davis, and goddamn it, I'm trying to get you through this fucking scenario.
I'm actually really enjoying what we're doing.
Oh, I'm loving it.
It's been a fun time.
I hope everybody else is too.
I'm enjoing it. Jesus Christ.
It's been a good time.
I like
Though
summoning a
me
giant.
enjoying it means the rest of the natural world
That
hates
is-
it.
yeah,
so that's how
yeah,
there is
is
me,
you-
Mr. Contrarian.
Yeah.
I just love being able to play TTRPGs, and this has been a fun time.
That's good stuff. That's good
Well,
stuff.
Yes.
I'm glad.
Ethan, what have you been up to?
I almost died to goblins.
Oh, Jesus.
Real or imaginary?
Imaginary.
Okay,
So
just wanted to make sure.
I was
we
like,
get that
man,
out of
that's
the
a
way
work
first.
story I haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
I might have met some at work. Yeah.
No, I've been playing some more Baldur's Gate 3. Me and my party, we finally finished the Goblin Camp section of the game. We almost died. So one of the objectives is you go into the Goblin Camp, and in order to rescue the head druid of the Emerald Grove, you have to defeat 3 of the true souls within the Goblin Camp. So one of them is a Goblin priestess, one is a hobgoblin barbarian, and another is a drow. After that, we exited the camp, and everyone was like, "Hey, you killed our leaders. We're gonna fuck you up." And then it was like 25 goblins against just the 4 of us, and one ogre that's like standing right behind us, drunk off his ass.
It's not really fair to call it a goblin camp when there's a drow hanging out in there.
Well, the whole plot line is a good amount of people within Faerun has been infected with like this mind flare parasite, and a lot of them are seeing visions of this like a cult leader that they're calling the Absolute, and so they're cultists of the Absolute. And so they're trying to like make sure everyone either follows the Absolute or perish. And so obviously I didn't follow the Absolute, and they're like, "Hey, perish."
Yeah, I don't think the Spider Queen follows that shit either. And Lilith is like, nope, fuck that shit. Let's send the drow to stop that shit right now.
No. And like it confused me because there's a part of the like chapel that the 3 main guys are in, and they have like 3 like giant spiders in their cavern. And me being a druid, I was able to talk to them and convince them that, like, hey, don't eat us. Instead, eat the goblins that are trapping you in here. Like, yes, that is a wonderful idea. We will eat the goblins and not you. And then they skittered off. So I was expecting like just goblin bodies left and right. Nope, that wasn't the case.
You know, thing about Baldur's Gate is I can't play it. It's PS5 and PC only, and I'm currently well behind in the generations.
Same here.
But I'm looking forward to Armored Core 6.
I've seen a lot of people talk
want to
about
play that. I've watched some things on it. I'm gonna try and make myself wait until it gets cheaper, because I will probably play it for a couple hours and then put it down and never pick it back up, because that's how I am with video games most of the time right now. But I'm really interested in that.
I played 2 on the PS2 way back in the day.
What is Armor Core? Because
Do you like mechs?
They're awesome. Yes.
Do you like shooting things with mechs?
That sounds.
Do you like having intense customization in mechs?
These are all pluses. I'm
Yes,
hearing.
then that's Armored Core.
You're sold.
Yeah. Latest game again, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
It is a From Software game, so I've heard that it is hard as fuck.
Yeah,
But it's not a Souls-like.
It's not a Souls-like game.
It's not Souls-like.
But it is. But I've heard it can be a difficult game, and there is a lot of like minutia with the customization and everything, because you get that almost like almost full customization very early in the game. And I've seen like the HUD and everything it's a lot. So like there's a lot going on with it. I couldn't figure while watching a dude play, I couldn't figure out every single thing that was on there, but it did look really fucking cool.
Gotcha.
So From Software, as we've established, does the Soul series, which is released through Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco also does the Gundam series through other and to me, the shots I've seen of Armored Core, especially this version of Armored Core, the fact that they've not been asked to do a Gundam game for Bandai Namco is just ridiculous.
It is.
You could just do that. Like
Right.
if the shots you've
the
seen,
licensing, yeah.
yeah,
I've seen it looks really
if this
cool.
hits off, expect a Armored Core style Gundam game from Software through Bandai Namco. I'm just gonna call that.
And
right
From
now.
Software has been making games for a long time,
Yeah.
well before.
Yeah.
This has been a very good top-heavy year for video games between Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, now Fires of Rubicon, or Armored Core 6, excuse me. This is a very good top-heavy year for video games as far as like that's your three runners.
Not to mention games that are coming out, like
Well,
Spider-Man 2
you've got
sometime
that's
this year.
Spider-Man
That's
2.
Spider-Man
Yep.
2 also just released. No, it's an indie game-ish, but the spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio is out now. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to pick it up soon. It's on the Switch and on Steam as well.
But yeah, like I think you have some very big, solid front runners for Game of the Year, and what is typically like a 1 or 2 horse race. Like last year was between what Elden Ring and
God of War.
God of War. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have some very strong contenders. Like I said, it's Spider-Man 2. If Spider-Man 2 holds up to the level that Naughty Dog always puts out, yeah, you have 4 very good Game of the Year.
And usually, I
contenders this year.
remember like back in the day when there was like a really good like amount of high-profile video games coming out. This is the part of the year where things got exciting because they were like ramping up for Christmas. They would always like, the last 2 quarters of the year are the big parts of the year.
They're just hitting us like left, right, and center with all these amazing games coming out.
Right. All right.
That's
Anything
me.
else, man?
No, Goblins are bastards.
Jay, what you been up to?
So there's this thing called Gary's Mod, and it's a mod for Half-Life 2. And it was the original way you could do like movies through like machinima style stuff through the Half-Life engine. And then Source Filmmaker came around, and Source Filmmaker is pretty cool. I dabbled in a little bit when it first came out. But someone has taken Gary's Mod and taken it to the level of what the hell with a thing called Skibidi Toilet. Now, you probably already heard about this because this has been like at least a month. Just like, I'm going to put this into perspective. These videos are getting somewhere between the neighborhood of 20 million to 100 million hits every time he puts out a video. They're very short, like they're anywhere between like 20 seconds to almost like, I think the longest one maybe run 2 minutes. It starts out with here's Skibidi Toilet 1. There's a weird techno song going on, and all of a sudden a head comes out of a toilet and starts doing Skibidi bop bop dop, yes, and like, okay, this is just stupid.
And the first video is like 15 seconds.
It's like 50. It's literally 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like or maybe 12. I can't remember necessarily. So and then like the next couple are just like that, and then they just start telling Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Right.
And it's just like what? There's like giant. Okay, so the human race has been completely wiped out, and they've been changing a whole bunch of other forms like Skibidi toilets. The cameramen, which are basically just people, but they have
with
cameras
a camera
for heads.
for a head, yeah.
Speaker people, which typically have speakers for heads, and TV people. You can guess what they're all about. And everybody is up against the Skibidi toilets. The Skibidi toilets show up at one point in mass to the Imperial March from fucking Star Wars.
Jesus Christ.
It has gone insane. There are 59 chapters as of the recording of this podcast.
They're not all 15 seconds.
They're not all 15 seconds. Some of them go like 2 or 3 minutes. You can knock it out in like maybe just over an hour right now. I started down the rabbit hole for this, came out the other side, a completely changed human being.
Wow.
I would argue, like, I love absurdist shit, and nothing is more absurdist to me than Gary's Mod. Just going all the way back to the early days of Gary's Mod comedy. Half-Life, I can't remember the name of it. John Freeman went to the place where the bad men were, and then he did a backflip. If you ever look that up, it's just, again, it's absurdist humor comedy.
Also Freeman's
that
Mind.
I love. Freeman's Mind was another one.
Yeah.
That's also a very good one, too, because that one actually takes place through the playthrough of that, which I think they use like a computer synthesized voice for Freeman's voice.
No, that's Ross from Ross's Dungeon.
Ross's Dungeon does that? Okay.
Yeah, he does all that by himself.
Okay, because I know there's one where it's like it's a playthrough of Half-Life, and it's literally a computerized voice. Like, holy shit, that's a crab, and it was trying to stick to my head. But Skibidi Toilet is insane with how deep the lore gets on a video series that started with a head coming out of a toilet.
Two things, real quick. One, Gary's Mod was a big meme generator back in the earlier days of YouTube. A couple of years after YouTube came out, especially like around 2008, 2009, there was a lot of Gary's Mod videos out there that were mostly entertaining. Also, this new shit that's coming out, the Skibidi Toilet shit, the age demographic that you're talking about when you're talking about the numbers, 95% of the demographic is under 12.
Is under 12. Well, yeah, I know. But
right.
Again, and even to more stress that, there is some of the best nonverbal visual storytelling I've ever seen on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I like it. The only thing I don't like is the repetitive nature of the song. It gets old real quick.
Yeah, you have to, if you can't stomach that, don't do it.
You can, or you can mute it and listen to something else while you're watching.
Well, I love that the speaker people use "Everybody Wants to Rule the World."
That is also true.
Like when they show up in the story, it's like, wait, what the fuck's going on now? There's way more thought being put into this than I think anybody would give it credit for.
Right.
I'm not saying like everybody's got to clamor out and go, but if you want to watch something that literally defies expectation, it's Skibidi Toilet.
If you want to watch episodes 1 through 55, it's only going to be 30 minutes of your life.
Yeah.
There you go.
30 minutes to come out a changed man. Or woman.
What else you got, man?
That's it. I've just been watching that on repeat over and over and over again.
Okay, Alex Delarge from Clockwork Orange.
He wishes that was one of the things he could watch.
As the fourth movement of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony plays in the background. Brady, what you been up to?
Fourth movement, less than Skibidi Toilet. It's better than Beethoven. I'll tell you that right now.
Disagree.
Yeah,
all right, moving on.
So yeah, been doing a few things. About a month ago, maybe even less than a month ago, I picked back up my my old Nintendo DS. Has been playing a few games from it, and I started back playing because to be honest, I only have a few games for it left anymore. But I picked back up a game that I never actually finished, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. I started completely from the beginning because I wanted to get everything in it, and there's quests in the game, and I got literally to the final boss, and I realized that I had sold an item that I needed to get one of the quests done. So I was screwed because there was no way to get that item. Maybe back in the day I could have connected it to Wi-Fi and there was like a little marketplace thing that I could do, but nowadays, even by the time I was playing the game, I don't think I could have done that. So I went and just started completely over and was playing it again. And I beat it a little while ago with everything, got everything that I needed and all that stuff. And it was a pretty fun game. This is the second of the DS Castlevanias. The first one was Dawn of Sorrow, which was a direct sequel for Aria of Sorrow on the Game Boy Advance. I played Dawn of Sorrow. I haven't played Aria of Sorrow, although I have that collection. I need to play it. And then the third one is Order of Ecclesia. I haven't played that one. I probably won't ever get around to playing it because I don't think it's super easy to find anyway.
Yeah, I got the Advanced Collection.
Oh, yeah.
I bought it. It was on sale.
I bought that a while back. I need to play some of those. But Portrait of Ruin is very interesting. It does a few different things. It takes place in the 1940s. Your main characters are Jonathan Morris, who is actually his father was in one of the other Castlevania games. And you have a secondary protagonist, Charlotte Arwen, something like that. And you actually play as the two, and you can like swap back and forth between them. Mm-hmm. Or you can summon one of them, whoever you're playing, you can summon the other one and have them automatically.
Sort of like Castlevania 3. You could do that between the three characters.
Yeah, this is like very dependent on like for puzzles. You have to like do it with, you have to use the two people. Sometimes you'll have to like flip back and forth really quickly. You can summon them to like the Charlotte. She does spells. Jonathan's more of your he can just use weapons, and he has these sub weapons that he can use. And then the really interesting thing with it is usually, in Castlevania, you're stuck with like, okay, this is a castle. I just have to, it's all kind of the same, just very gothic and all this stuff. This one, you're actually traveling in, all the levels are paintings. So you're traveling into paintings, and like one might take you to, an ancient Egypt type thing. One might take you to like, kind of a dead forest with like houses and stuff. One might take you to a school. So there's a lot of variety with the level design, because they can do these different things with the paintings. So, but yeah, if you ever get a chance to try this out, again, I don't think it's an easy one to find anymore, because those DS ones I don't think are very easy to find. Check it out, because it is a very good game. It's one of the better ones on that, and it doesn't have any. The problem with Dawn of Sorrow was it was right when the DS came out, so they had all these force-fed DS things with the touch screens, with the touch screen. So, like, if you fought a boss in Dawn of Sorrow, there and you beat it, this little thing would come up, and you had to do a very specific swipe through it. You had to make this very specific symbol for it, or else it gained like 10 to 20% of its life back, and you had to just kill it again. So it was very annoying, and they just did all like, you don't ever have to play the stylus with Portrait of Ruin. But it was a very fun game. I'm glad that I went back and finally beat it, because it was very annoying. When I figured out I would have to start back over, because there's a lot of like tough things that you have to do in the game. But I did that. I also watched a movie, and I think this is a movie that if you listen to our podcast, or if anybody any of the other hosts, if you watch the last broadcast and you were like, man, I wish that could be better, I have a movie for you. It's called Hellhouse LLC. Has anybody heard of this?
I've heard of it.
No.
Okay.
Negative.
This is a found footage movie about this group who goes around doing haunted houses, and it's done like a documentary style, but it does have like footage of them, because they like did footage. So they go to this house, this abandoned hotel in Abaddon, New York, and they're gonna fix it up for as a haunted house, and make some money off of it. It's a very small group, like 5 people. About 5 or 6 people. And then they hire locals and everything. It starts out and it tells you like there was a horrific tragedy that happens. Like the first night that it opens, like 15 people die. And then they go back and say, well, we found all the footage, so we'll walk you through the footage and everything. And it's like interviewing people and everything, and everybody's like, oh, we don't know exactly what happened. They said it was a leak, and a gas leak or something like that, and all these terrible things. And there's like, oh, all that we have is like this thing that was uploaded to YouTube that you don't get a clear shot of anything. And then there was a 911 call. But I think it's a very, very good movie. It's very effective at building tension, because these people go to this hotel and weird shit starts happening almost immediately. And there's not any, you feel like you're going to get jump scared a lot, but it never actually jump scares you. It's just this tension that they keep bringing up, that makes you want to like cover your eyes and stuff. Because things will, like, it's not really a jump scare, but like things will just like show up where they're not supposed to be, and do a lot of weird things. So it's a lot of like that building of the tension. It's not a perfect movie, because I think that they leave a lot on the table as to what really happened. But then there's like 2 sequels that I read like the synopses of them, but they didn't get very good reviews, so I don't have any interest in watching them. But I think the first one stands pretty good on its own. So if that sounds interesting to you, I would definitely check that one out, because like I said, it kind of does what the last broadcast wanted to do, where there's a little bit of mystery, and it's super low budget, but I think that they make it work with what they've got. Like, it's super, super low budget. It's on Amazon Prime.
It is free on Tubi.
Oh yeah, I saw that it was on Tubi too.
The number 1 streaming service as voted by everybody on Travelers.
It's pretty good.
well, on most people on Travels with Omnibus. But if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it without ads. So there is that as well.
Have you heard of that real haunted house escape room? I can't remember the name of it. Something Manor, where you have to sign a waiver before you go in.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this one. Yeah, it's like an extreme
and
haunted house.
one person got 2/3 of the way through and said, "Oh no, you've had enough, man. We're just gonna pull you out."
Yeah, you have the option of always saying like I'm done.
Yeah.
But from the pictures and the videos I've seen from YouTubers that have been able to actually talk about it, because you have to sign a clause, like a non
NDA, non-disclosure,
non-disclosure clause, because of how secretive they are about their techniques and things like that. But I've seen video footage and pictures of people that have been through it.
Yeah,
and it looks like are you allergic to bees? Well, it's like having like a billion bees sticking into your face. Like their faces are all swollen.
I think Wendigoon from YouTube did a review on that, and the part about that, it's okay. There is a limit to how much I think people should be allowed to be able to do. But if you've signed a waiver, I'm almost always willing to go, okay, you signed it. If you were in sound mind,
right?
You can do that. The one that got me is the guy that like almost got through all of it, and they pulled him out because they didn't think he could handle it. And no, he's about to get the money, and you don't
I think it's like 25,000 or 50 or something. It's something ridiculous.
Yeah,
if you make it through.
Yeah, and they just it's like, oh, you almost made it through. Well, we're just gonna pull you out, man.
Yeah,
we don't want to do this to you anymore.
That's how they get people in. They're like, it's like $100 to get in. If you make it all the way through, you get like $25,000 or $50,000. Nobody's been able to make it through, and I think some guy had a heart attack in the middle of it, and that there was an issue with that too.
Yeah, there's better ways to make that money.
Sorry, Brady, I cut you off. What else have you been up to?
So yeah, watch that movie, and then I also finished up a show that just had its final episode of the. I don't know how many seasons they're going to do with this thing, but so one of my favorite shows is a show called Justified. And they very recently had kind of a sequel come out of kind of like a limited. It's supposed to be a limited series. It might go further. Called Justified City Primeval. So Justified was about the Elmore Leonard character Raylan Givens being sent. He's a deputy marshal. Yeah. And he gets sent back to Kentucky, which is his home state where he grew up in, and he hates Kentucky, and because he told a guy he was working in Miami, and then he told a guy that he had 24 hours to get out of town or he was going to shoot him on sight, and then he shoots the guy. So he gets sent to the last place that he wants to go. And at the end of Justified, he ends up going back to Miami. Has a kid and everything. This takes place, sometime later. He's still in Miami, but he gets something draws him to Detroit. Like he gets in touch with like some things happen, and he's working on a case in Detroit. And he also has to bring along his teenage daughter, who is actually Timothy Oliphant's actual daughter. A little bit of nepotism in there because she's not the greatest actress.
Yoga hosers.
Yeah, it's not horrible, but like it's not great.
Which is only the second worst thing Lily Rose Depp has done.
Yeah.
What if you really want to watch the now canceled first season of The Idol?
Canceled.
It was abominable.
The what?
The Idol.
The Idol.
Yeah. Lily Rose Depp and The Weeknd.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, by the dude who did Euphoria.
Yeah. But more The Weeknd.
Yeah.
I love Abel Tesfaye is a great artist.
Mm-hmm.
He does not know how to act at a level to carry a show like that.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say
about
that.
He was good in Uncut Gems where he was playing The Weeknd. So anyway, See Primeval. It's a pretty good show. It's only 8 episodes. It's not as great as the original Justified because there's just not as many there's not really any besides Raylan. There's not really many good to great nobody. Justified was really about like it's really good characters. You had Raylan, you had Boyd Crowder, who was really great, who was Walton Goggins. You had,
is this a Western or
it's
modern?
modern time, but he's kind of like a man out of time.
Okay.
Like he has cowboy sensibilities.
Gotcha.
But he's in a modern time.
I was getting Western vibes. That's why
it does have some Western vibes. He's a very kind of Western type guy. He walks around wearing a Stinson, and everybody makes fun of him for it because he's he didn't have a Stinson at the end of Justified, and he doesn't, and he goes back to it, which really annoyed me. But anyway, and it worked really good because it had really strong villains. Like the villain of the season was always very strong. This is where you get Margot Martindale as Mags Bennett, and that was in the second season. This was phenomenal. Boyd Crowder was always like the Walton Goggins, that character. They were always there throughout the entire season, being like really cool. You don't really get that there. There's like none of the good guys stick out. The bad guy is played by Boyd Holbrook, who was in Logan. He's kind of a generic white guy, but he's not but he's a little bit better than that. He's a good actor. I like him. It's just like the character that he plays is very one note, very, very one note, and he's not that interesting. And that's the problem, that nobody is super, super interesting. And then like halfway through, his daughter leaves, so that whole thing is not. She doesn't even come back until like the very end of the last episode. And I think that they are going to set it up for another season. I don't know. It was good. It just wasn't as good as the show that it was based on. So take that for what it will. But that's what I've been doing.
Cool.
Hey Jody, what have you been doing?
I've been. I think I mentioned this last week. I just started back on playing the Binding of Isaac because I haven't like unlocked everything on that game. So I've been playing that. That's been a good time. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft with my buddy Nick Krebs.
He had his birthday recently.
Yes, he did. Jay gets on sporadically. We have different work schedules, so usually it's on a time when
Everybody else will be gone, and they show up and I go, "What happened here?"
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
I'll do a little bit, and then they'll go, "Oh, a couple of rocks moved over there. That's weird. Let's get back to our major excavation of the world."
That's true. That's true. By the way, whenever you get back on, I left you a present on top of your hill.
So I immediately think IRA, and I have a car bomb waiting for me at my house. It's good. Can't wait to explode.
Yes, yeah. Speaking of exploding, Nick made a creeper farm. It only took 35,000 of my sandstone blocks that I've been acquired.
Oh yeah, because you have a chest full of that.
I have like 12, but now I have like 2.
Our opening spawn was the Sahara fucking desert.
Yeah, I nicknamed it Hell. Like the first week we were in, I just made a big like cobblestone sign that just said, "Now entering Hell." It's funny, but it's not funny. It actually is. Like zombies spawn in the daytime. If you know enough about Minecraft biomes, my house and Jay's house are in 2 separate biomes, and we're right next to each other. I'm in the sand biome and he's in the grass biome, and when it rains on half of my property. And zombies spawn in the daytime on that property.
Gross.
It's
To be fair, I would imagine in this life or in the digital life, zombies spawn on your lawn. I have to think that.
That's probably true.
The home of fearology cannot be zombie-less. I'm just saying that right now.
So I've been doing that. That's just some little stuff I've been doing off the side. I've also I'm a big nerd for game show stuff, and especially like reality talent shows.
Oh, okay.
Like I watch like America's Got Talent on Peacock, and I watch clips of the other Got Talent shows around the world on YouTube because they're not always available. Like Canada's got one, Britain's got one. And so I watched the last of the auditions, and they just started doing the actual live shows recently. That's been good.
Okay.
It's like if you like watching talent shows, like that's like the only one really to watch.
Okay.
And I watched a movie. I avoided this movie forever because it seemed like opposite of what the title says. It didn't seem like it was going to be good, and it's called Funny People.
Ooh.
And the thing about this movie is the cast is like stacked.
Oh yeah.
It's got like so many comedians in there. You have like Jason Schwartzman. You have
Adam Sandler.
You have Seth Rogen. You have Jonah Hill's in it.
Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza's in it. Aziz Ansari's in it for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
He's there. So I'm gonna stop name dropping. And
Eminem, I believe, is in there.
Eminem. That's probably one of the best scenes in the movie. So like the plot is Adam Sandler. Like this, the problem with this movie is that even though it came out in 2010, it probably still came out about 10 years too late.
2009 came out.
Well, close enough, man. It came out probably too late for what the plot is. So the plot is Adam Sandler is a comedian who has like done mostly like fart joke movies. Like the fake movies they have in there were like he's like, you know, he got turned into a baby but it's still his head or whatever.
Yeah.
And he does like the same sort of like crappy voices he did on the MTV show Remote Control and in his earlier movies like Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, where he's like, you know, those kind of noises. But like that's his whole acting career. There is no like, you know, he never did any dramas. His character never did any dramas or anything. And so that's what he's known for. And basically, he's a rich prick with no real friends.
Yeah.
Then he gets diagnosed with like this rare like blood disease, right? But that actually goes away like in the first half of the movie, where like he actually, you know, he finds out that he's doing okay.
Yeah.
But during that time period, he catches up with a lot of his old friends. You know. He's trying to do stand up because he thinks he doesn't have like a lot of time or anything like that. So Seth Rogen, he finds out, you know, he goes to stand up comedy shows and stuff at the Improv, and they start hanging out, and he asks him to be his assistant to write some jokes because he can't write jokes anymore because he's a hack. And it's so bad because most of everything in that movie falls flat. It doesn't seem genuine. It doesn't seem like it's, you know, in the right mind space. And it's basically like halfway through the movie, he just starts being a dick again because he can. And he doesn't learn any real lessons until like the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like this just wasn't good. It wasn't a good movie. And it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah, it was so this was one of the Judd Apatow at his most like he had done all the other Judd Apatow movies.
He'd done all the funny ones. He Knocked Up and
Knocked Up, 4-Year-Old Virgin, Get Me to the Greek, all of those had already come out, and this was like at the height of like everybody being like crazy about Judd Apatow. I remember liking this movie when it came out, but like I have no urge to ever watch it again because it's like it is super long, especially for a comedy, and it is very depressing towards the end. Like it is very funny, and then it gets super depressing.
Right,
and then he did. The next movie after this was This Is 40, which is nothing but just like it's so fucking depressing and so fucking like just oh my god, this is like I can't watch this whole thing.
Right.
And it just this is like kind of the downward slope of Judd Apatow movies.
Well, yeah, and also for the most part, Adam Sandler movies, like, you know, he hasn't really had that many, you know, great things.
He went back
Uncut
to do
Gems happened after this.
Yeah.
Uncut Gems, sure, but like his anything to do with his comedy shtick, like I think like my favorite.
Well, this is past past the time where he was very self-aware when he did this movie,
right?
Because even during this time, he's doing just those movies where, and I like some of them to be honest, where it's just I'm gonna go hang out with my friends in Africa or on a beach somewhere.
Oh yeah,
this,
those.
You know, you got like your grown-ups and your Blended and all those other movies where it's just like
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill was also horrible. Like he's in the midst of doing all of these horrible movies.
But the Jack and Jill profiles there, it's like I just want to get a bunch of friends together and we're going to do a movie and go on the Royal Caribbean cruise. That's literally what that was about.
I think the last one that I really liked that just straight comedy movie they did that had heart to it was 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
And that was like the mid
50
2000s.
First Dates was a solid movie, but like for most part with his comedies he had done, like he did all those shitty movies on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Oh
like when it comes to those, like he's not. Every once in a while, he just does a drama that that you know he can actually act in. And the rest of them is just, I just want to get a paycheck and I want to hang out with my friends. Hopefully somewhere like interesting. Like, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it for what I've been up to.
Yeah,
what have you been up to, listeners?
You can send us passenger feedback at travelersontheomnibus@gmail.com. Again, it is travelers, 1L on the omnibus @gmail.com. And also, thank you for stopping by and joining the ride with us, folks. If you'd like to bring other people along with you and they do not listen to podcasts on what you're listening to, please enjoy us on Spotify, Apple, Google, and Amazon.
Saga.
Also, if you'd like to get in touch with us directly through Spotify is the way to go and take part in any polls we might have going. And apparently we have polls every week. So we got any polls right now, Jay?
Yes, we have a poll.
Oh, okay. What is the poll we have right now?
I think the poll this week, it had nothing to do with the game. It had to do with our preamble from last week. I can't remember it off the top of my head now.
Oh, yeah. Not to put you on the spot. Yep. Any feedback this week, Jay?
No feedback this week. But again, travelers on the gmail.com. We'll plug. Anyway, there you go.
Well,
there we go.
I figured out what the poll was.
Go for it.
What is the lowest number of tires you would have had to replace in a year before it becomes unreasonable?
See, I wasn't going to bring it up because the boy has blown many tires this week, and not in a sexual way.
Your options are 5, 8, 10, 15, more than 15.
More than 15.
Wow. I'm currently dealing with a tire that's like losing air every other day. So,
and also, did you ever fall out of love with Futurama? And if so, why?
Hang on, that was the question from last week.
I've fallen out of love with a lot of shows. That means that it's probably time for me to pass the torch to our main event.
So yeah, we're gonna start back with our Cities of Mist playthrough. Just to get everybody on the same page, in the last one we had our intrepid investigators were trying to find out a little bit more about what was happening in Miller Square. They caused a big gigantic ruckus, and it caught the attention of the enforcer Delia, and
The Shark Lady.
Yeah, the Shark Lady, and she was eventually subdued and is refusing to talk unless they go to one specific place where she knows that her boss's ears cannot reach. So that takes us to the old aquarium. This place has been neglected for years, as evidenced by the rusty gate, the crumbling graffiti-covered walls, and the briny tanks covered in algae. There's a strange, dark feeling in the air, the sense of a festering threat, but that could just be your imagination. So as you enter the old aquarium, I'm going to add the tags caved-in walls, and debris everywhere, and dark and damp. So these could possibly hurt or hinder you in things that happen in this scenario. You've got Delia there. I will say she still has the "My lips are sealed" tag on her. Status at a level 5. What do you do?
I thought that status was only in effect because of where we were, and it was going to be easier for us to talk to her where we were going.
But you got lied to, fool. Anyway,
it's a trap.
It's a trap.
I am not the talkiest of talkers.
Let's just move the spotlight to somebody.
I look at Delia as like, okay, we're in your area. Talk.
Give me an investigate roll.
Tag it up, jabroni. Look at these if you need to.
I would like to use the tags "be there for each other" since all three of us are present, and private investigator license.
All right.
Would you like to invoke any weaknesses?
No.
Okay, so with the 5 on the My Lips Are Sealed, so that's going to be a -3, correct?
Yes.
That is going to be a total of 4.
Okay. So that's a miss.
No, apologies, a total of 3. My
3.
math is-
Okay. Well,
Still a
it
miss.
doesn't-
Yeah.
Less than 6 is all that matters. So yeah, that's going to be a miss. There's something that I also wanted to add. It's an ability that we had, but I want to bring it in right now. Is called burning for a hit. You can take one of your tags and you can burn it, meaning that you can't use it until you recover that tag, and then you get. It takes the place of a dice roll, where basically it gives you a roll of an outcome of 10 with a power of 3. Now you still add negative and positive statuses to that, so you could get more than that or you could get less, but it allows you to get an automatic hit. But again, you're burning a tag, so you're losing out on the ability to invoke that tag.
And we have to do this before we
Yes,
make a roll of any kind?
before you
Gotcha,
roll.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I still miss.
Yeah. You still miss. So she's not. She basically just tells you like, I'm not. You're not really even asking the right questions. You don't even know what you're looking for. You guys are just, the smallest of fishes. You're just prey to me. Baku, your super senses are like kind of tingling, and you're feeling like there is something wrong. That there's you got a bad feeling about something in the aquarium.
Is there any way I can investigate that feeling?
Yeah, you could do an investigate roll.
Okay. I don't want to use the be there for each other tag again, since Lily just used it. Not Lily, but Anthony just used it. Let's see. I have throw up a monster's senses, which works, I think. Maybe. Snip out monsters and nightmares, definitely appropriate for that.
I can give you that one.
Adapt to prey's ability.
I'll give you that one. Yeah, plus
so
3.
that'll be +3.
I will not I will not invoke any weaknesses on you.
I will. While he's talking to her, I will attempt to kind of make a couple of steps around close by to kind of like feel out this internal sense I'm getting of things not being quite right. My chimera senses are tingling. That's a 10 on the dice, which would make it 13.
All right. So you're going to generate 3 clues. So that's 3 questions that you can ask. So what do you want to ask?
Is something here that's not included in us 3 and what's her name?
Delia.
Delia.
So yeah, as you're looking, there's kind of a so the way the aquarium is, there's like a central tank, kind of a big round open area of water kind of in the middle, and then in the back there's different tanks, and as you're looking at one of them, you notice a blinking light, and there are it looks to be some remote triggered explosives are on that back wall of the tank.
Oh.
Okay.
That was question 1. Question 2 would be, how difficult would it be for me able to access the explosives?
So, as you look and start kind of following the wires, it leads to an electrical box off to the side there. How difficult it is up to you. It is going to be a taking the risk roll.
Okay.
With a failure probably leading to the tank exploding and trying to wash you into the central tank. So yeah.
Give me a second to think about the third question. Drawing a blank.
Well, if it helps, like I'm like you're gonna have to roll to like somebody's going to have to roll. I don't know if you alert them or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. There might not even be anything else that you need to particularly ask.
Okay, I'll turn around and I'll walk up to where we have her. She's tied up and everything, right?
Yeah,
So
I'll have her tied up.
I'll take her by the scruff of her clothes, like right below her neck, and bring her right up to my face. And her name is Delia, right?
Delia, yeah.
Delia. Hey, Delia, would you like to tell me and the rest of my crew what's up with the fucking explosives that are set up in the wall?
She goes, "Oh, you found my surprise." So, here's a question. Are you wanting to try to convince her to disarm the trap, or are you wanting to just try to disarm the trap? Because you got some. So what you seem to be trying to do is to you can roll like a convince roll to try and get her to help you, or you can. This might not even be convinced. This might be. I think this is actually going to be a go toe to toe. To be honest with her, or which you're going to have to like put statuses on her to do that, or you can try, or one of you can try to disarm the trap itself.
I have one more question from the clue from earlier.
Okay,
actually.
yeah, that's fine.
Do I know if the explosive device is timed?
It seems like it is motion censored to at least start counting down when somebody enters and doesn't turn off the trap.
Okay. Well, boys, we have 3 options. I think the third option would be just to leave her here, tied up on the floor. I'm saying that as I look directly into her eyes.
Okay. If this helps, it's not made to like blow the whole place up. It's made to, as a trap, to blow up one of the tanks in the back to wash somebody into the central tank.
Gotcha.
So it's not gonna like blow the whole thing up and kill her or anything like that.
Well, I mean, her being tied up might not necessarily be helpful for her if she gets sucked into something.
Well, she's a shark.
She's also part shark.
Yeah, she's part shark. I don't think
she probably wants us
washed
to be
into
in
the
that
water.
tank.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like home
I'm
field
sure.
advantage.
Well, I'll leave it to the rest of the crew. What do you think, fellas? What do you think we should do now?
I'll throw in also that you have seen that there are 2 great white sharks in the giant tank in the center.
Oh yeah, there's also 2 great white sharks in the center of the tank as well as the explosive device that is rigged over there on the wall next to the electrical device.
Jay, your character hasn't gotten the spotlight. What do you say? What do you do?
Are we aware that we've triggered the bombs, or have we not triggered the bombs?
You have basically triggered like the countdown.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been deactivated yet.
Okay, cool. I would like for us to leave, and I would like to change the game to possibly reduce her status of lips are sealed, or perhaps add a new status. Or she owes us one.
Okay. What would she be owing you one from?
Just letting her go, because I don't think it's really cool for her to just having gotten her ass kicked and then just dropped off,
and also not letting Baku tear into her. So
okay. All right.
I would like to employ the power tags good deep down inside, small time fixer, driven self promoter, and electrifying gaze, just for that extra little bit of charisma for it.
Okay. So you are,
if all of them are accepted, it would be +4 on a change the game roll.
+4 on change the game roll, and you were trying to give her the status.
Either status for you owe us one, or drop her lips are sealed from 5 to 1. I guess would be one of the 2 outcomes that I would want from those.
Okay, so you are trying to. I'm just trying to get a grasp on what you're So you're trying to kind of
Basically, let me set the scene that
Yes.
how you would describe it. So we've brought you back home. I'm going to untie you, and we're just going to walk away. I hope that your boss doesn't get too bad by the fact that we beat you, because we did. You can't deny that. But remember, we could have done worse. And then just like punctuated like the electric eye glaze like kind of go on there, and then just like that, and then we just all walk out.
Well, roll and see what happens.
All right, here we go.
Let me see. Let me see. All right, we're going to invoke the weakness, small fish in a big pond.
Okay, I'm almost cracked. I mean, not cracked that one, but almost attention that twice now. That's 2 attention. All right. So overall +3. If I can get that to seal up. There we go. All right, here we go. 6. Missed it by 1.
All right. She just starts laughing, and she says, "You really think that you got me? You don't have me." And right as soon as she says that, the explosives go off. So let me see. Everybody needs to make, so everybody is aware that the trap is going off. Everybody give me a take the risk roll to avoid being hit and washed into the big tank.
All right. Can we use tags for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My tags are travel through bodies, between bodies of water, turn myself into water, flow through narrow spaces.
Okay.
Mine would be meld into the
Let's
dark.
Count your stuff up, and then we'll do it one at a time so I can keep track.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then be there for each other.
All right.
So that's +4.
All right.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. For me, that's 13.
All right. So you make it. You're able to get out of the way and not be washed into the tank. Jody, what you got?
Mine would be meld into the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Instinctive dodge.
Yeah, definitely.
Mixed martial arts sensei.
Yeah.
Being there together. Being there for each other, which would be
I'm not gonna let you have that one since
Okay,
he
sure.
already had that one.
Sure.
So +3.
okay. What's the lightning?
Lightning bolt is a 6.
Okay, so that's 13.
13. All
Yeah.
right. So you make it. All right.
I'm going to be using indestructible energy body, encase in protective energy, and transform the environment to attempt to mitigate some of the water.
Okay. All right.
So that's going to be a +3 effectively.
All right.
11.
11. All right. So yeah. So you all make it. Talak turns into water and kind of just flows with it and moves out of the way. You're able to kind of dodge the worst of the flow, and you're able to kind of mitigate,
like move some of the water out of the way as I'm walking.
Yeah, you pop up like you turn into like there's you kind of lift up the floor just a little bit so it kind of flows around. So yeah, so you're all able to get her out of that.
You failed again, Delia. Just saying.
All right, so y'all are leaving.
She right now has an upwardly very good advantage because she has 2 sharks and is fully made it about a water battle. We're not ready for that. We just aren't.
I think we need to go back to the bar. Deli is currently tied up in the shark.
I don't
tank
think we
and
need to go
water.
back to the bar
No.
because I blew out all the fucking electricity for the entire block.
Right.
Okay.
I think we need to go back to the office and like reassemble, maybe try and figure out what to do from there.
So you go back to the office. We'll make this a downtime so you can gather clues or do whatever you need to do.
Okay.
So Jay, what is your character going to do for his downtime activity?
I would like to recover from our last activity, and I would like to help out in Miller's Square to get down the status that had everybody on edge. I believe that was at a status 2.
Yeah.
The tags that I would apply to that would be good deep down inside, relentless schmoozer, small time fixer, driven self promoter. Basically, working like if someone needs something, somebody's got an abundance of something else, I'd like to be able to get that work and try to get some camaraderie built up amongst the people, and also help try to rebuild as where as possible. See blown up transformer.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's able to get rid of that.
All right.
You work enough to where you're able to get rid of that status completely. So that
Cool beans.
Miller Square is no longer on edge.
All right.
All right. So, Jody, what are you going to be doing for your downtime activity?
Baku is currently just so infuriated at the previous incidences with Dahlia that his dream-eating chimera mythos is starting to almost like eat at him internally, trying to get out to possibly devour or ravage otherworldly beings. And so because I have an attention of 2, I'm focusing on my dream-eating chimera mythos.
What's the mystery on that one?
The mystery is who created this monstrosity.
Okay. All right.
Trying to figure out who created the chimera that dwells within me by listening to the internal things that it's sort of telling me.
Okay. All right. So you're going to delve deeper into your mythos. So yeah, that's good. You can mark an attention on that, and I believe that will bring you to 3 attention. So you can wipe those and get an improvement. You can either take a new tag or the improvement that's on the bottom there.
I'm going to take the new power tag option of ravage otherworldly beings.
Cool. All right.
That man wants to eat a whole shark.
Luckily, we know what No.
All right, Ethan, where are you?
We enjoyed that joke by Ethan. That's why we were caught off guard. Very good.
What is your character? We don't expect those good jokes, so when they come,
I knew you'd turn it on him. Oh, he's leaving on a midnight train to Georgia.
No, Anthony is going to be working the case.
All right.
So as Talak is reestablishing the ties with Miller Square, Anthony's gonna be with him, and as we're like helping out the community, I'm gonna like trying to get some clues as to find clues as to how we're gonna be able to like pinpoint like a good area where this boss is, where Delia's boss is, like where these people are.
Okay. So that working the case generates you 3 clues. So you have 3 clues to spend. So
okay, so the first question is going to be, what businesses are not being affected by the influence of these mysterious suited people, whereas other than places that are being like strong armed?
As you're asking around, you get the sense that everybody has had a visit from these people, except for Rusty's bar.
Gotcha. Okay. What kind of external assistance has Rusty been receiving?
As far as you can tell, there hasn't been like any external assistance. It's just he doesn't get messed with. There's no collections coming there. So let me do this and give you a little bit of a refresher. Remember, y'all went to the bar and you found that there was an area that looked like a secret door, basically. Yeah.
And then the police were very quick to respond.
Yes.
To rescues.
Yeah, when y'all started asking the wrong types of questions, it led.
I don't know of any small time bars that have a panic button straight to the police.
What kind of connections does Rusty have with Precinct 23?
So as you're asking around, you're getting a picture painted. You know, not everybody can give you the entire picture, but everybody's giving you a little bit of piece, like a puzzle, and you're putting it together. And it feels like everybody kind of notices that Rusty's gets special treatment, and you probably want to steer clear of this place because Rusty's is probably a front. How much Rusty knows about the actual business that's being done in the back, who knows? But it's not that he has any connections special with that. It's just that what Rusty's is a front for is that's where the connection comes with. It's not that like they have any special connection necessarily. It's just that you know that the cops are crooked, and you know that they're there to run interference on anything there before things get super out of hand. Something that you do pick up while you're asking around is there's been some activity in the sewers. People have spotted men in suits coming from it's like in what's that, The Dark Knight Rises, where there's like the big culvert. It's in all those movies. People
There's the big sewer grates leading into the bay.
Going into one of those. So you're getting a sense that might not be the hidden door that you've seen in Rusty's might not be the only way into that whatever is hiding. That's the downtime. So let's see. Baku, you got the spotlight. What you want to do?
I hadn't been to the dojo in a while.
Okay.
I guess
I'm painting one of the walls in his dojo.
Cool.
Just for a little thing.
Cool.
All right.
Are there any students there chilling?
All right, now you're still kind of reeling from everybody being on edge. It's gonna take a little while for people to feel comfortable being outside. They just saw a whole bunch of people fight, and of course they didn't see any like the magical stuff, but like it did seem like a big brawl happening right there in the middle of the square.
They saw one of us tie up a lady with police tape.
Do I have an assistant that kind of runs the place when I'm not there, maybe, or no?
I don't know. Do you?
Yeah. I pay him in free martial arts training.
Okay. All right.
Because the dojo,
He pays him in broken teeth, is what he's trying to tell him.
The dojo isn't really making a lot of money, as you know, and so I have to make ends meet.
So this guy wants to be the very best. Like no one ever was.
He's like last year of high school. he's trying to help Cobra Kai win the tournament.
This place runs on Dogecoin and sweaty geese. Like basically.
sweaty geese. Yeah.
He just watched UFC 230, and that really looked cool. He came in with an Affliction t-shirt.
And then
no one's wearing an Affliction t-shirt anymore.
When he told me that story, I told him, you need to watch UFC Japan when Frank Shamrock kneed the guy in the face and put him in an arm bar in 30 seconds.
You mean Pride?
Yeah. No, it was.
No, there was a UFC Japan.
Okay.
It was before. It was before it was sanctioned.
There was like one. Yeah, there was like one. When you're talking Frank Shamrock. Yeah. There was like one show that was like in Japan.
Yeah.
Before Pride.
It was when they were doing
before Pride, who was owned by the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Told them, hey, you can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, the Yakuza, this is too violent.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, no, they were like, oh, this needs soccer kicks. This is what this is.
Yeah, the Yakuza guy told him while he was scratching with a not their finger. Like, just
it's like, look at the K1 tournament. Do that.
Yeah.
So, as we nerd out on martial arts
that was a tangent.
Yeah, that was a tangent.
I'm just going to kick around there and see if, maybe he might know something about what's going on. I really don't know what to do at this moment.
Anthony, so they're all at his dojo. So what are you doing?
So I'm like finishing up gathering all this information, and I know that both of them are at Baku's dojo. Talak is painting.
That's like our second office.
Yeah.
So
basically,
I'm gonna be like a steady pace to like get to them as fast as possible.
Okay, we can speed that along. You're there.
Okay, gotcha.
We don't have to do travel in this. This
Well,
is like
for
a
travel.
this is like a movie. You don't
Yeah.
see like the getting from point A to point B.
Fast
You're just
travel.
there.
Quick old Baldur's Gate reference. You are waylaid by enemies and must defend yourself. Anyway, no,
Enemies are nearby. You cannot fast travel.
Elf needs food badly. No, that's a wrong.
that's Gauntlet. Holy
the
shit.
wrong one.
This area you cannot fast travel in.
Yeah. I didn't know any of the Baldur Gate references because I was never played Baldur's Gate. It's okay. You're there. What you do?
So, yeah, I gathered them around,
I send the assistant for donuts. He doesn't need to hear what's going on here.
It takes twice as long for my paint to dry because I'm always wet. I just have to do that last part. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
so
Mark crack on something. I don't know. Mark. No,
Wherever there is water. No, I'm doing it. This is my last chance to mark crack. Mark
fade. It would be
crack.
fade with if it's a mythos
If I can
thing.
get this pen open. No, diamond in the rough.
Okay,
I'm cracking
you're
it.
cracked.
Okay.
I'm cracking it.
Okay.
All right.
The marker almost won that marked.
It almost did.
Just for anybody who's interested, marking crack is like marking attention, but it's the opposite thing to where you can actually lose a theme and have it replaced.
Yeah, which is cool because you lose a piece of yourself.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool.
and it
That's-
gets
that's
exchanged
kinda
with. If you lose a mythos, it gets exchanged with a logos. If it's a logos, it gets exchanged with. You can literally like turn into either fully back to a sleeper if you get all logos, or you turn into what's called an avatar, which is like a super powerful, but you're fully into your mythos and nothing else matters.
Oh.
and are unplayable.
Well,
Yeah.
you're unplayable eventually.
Yeah.
You get to have a little bit of fun because avatars, whenever they burn a tag, they automatically recover it.
Oh.
So you can just burn for a hit every single time. But eventually you become unplayable because you don't care about anything but fulfilling your mythos. In the world of City of Mist, the avatars are like the high players. These are the people who are at the top of the food chain.
Right.
Gotcha.
So
So yeah, I gathered them around and say that some of the people around are saying that Rusty's bar is actually a front of some kind. He's not aware of what's going on, but there's definitely some kind of back dealings there.
He's getting paid to possibly house.
There's a secret door back there,
Yeah.
and we know the Shark Boys at very least go to that bar. I won't say frequent, but that's the reason why we knew about it from
We
the
should-
Matchbox.
And there's another entrance that people have been seeing.
Oh.
Where?
People are saying that they've seen men in suits come out of one of the large sewer gates down by the river. And
next to the van.
next,
Where
yes,
Matt
next to the
where
van.
Matt Foley is.
And here I was thinking we should somehow acquire a cop car and drive it right through the front door.
Let me get my last bit of fresh air because it looks like we're going to the sewers, gentlemen.
Sounds about right.
I like this hoodie too. I don't like this.
Well, then take the hoodie off.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay.
As I take the hoodie off and place it behind the desk of the dojo.
Yeah.
All right. So, you're able to navigate the sewers from your kind of senses. You can kind of feel like where the water is flowing and all of that. So you get to the doorway. So the secret doorway leads you down a narrow corridor and a circular staircase lined with flickering mining wall lights. Behind another door lies a spacious lounge. Old music is playing on a gramophone that is set next to the well-stocked cocktail table. In the back of the room, there's a big safe and a gun rack. Looks like you found the place all right. Now, seated there, so when you set your eyes on the tall and distinguished man sitting comfortably in his armchair, you almost drop your guard. Even though you have this nefarious loan shark cornered, he seems cooler than the Long Island iced tea he's twirling in his glass. Something about him exudes respectability and trust. He speaks to you in a voice as smooth as velvet and as decisive as a bullet to the heart, and you listen. So, let me see. Block, what do you do? He says in a voice that sounds almost magical to your ears. Well, I didn't think you guys would find me so soon. You must have gave Delia the slip.
Well, we beat her up first, and then we did.
Delia's been in tougher scrapes than you can imagine.
I can imagine, but we still beat her up. Scoreboard's 1-0 on that one.
I'm certain she'll have the chance to even it up sooner or later. I'm sorry. Talak, what do you do?
Okay, it was on me. Sorry. I
apologize.
No, it's okay. Thought we were having some banter, and I was waiting for the tennis ball to come back at me. Let me go with, like, the tag combo is called Sweet Talk, Someone Helping. So I'm going to go with Investigate, using the tags Relentless Schmoozer, Small Time Fixer, and Driven Self Promoter to get information out of this gentleman.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. 4, 8, and 3 would be 11.
11. All right. So that was a power of 3, so that generates 3 clues. Mm-hmm. So what you got?
The people of Miller Square are poor. Why are you doing this to them?
It's just business. That's all it is. You gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Does he have any discernible weaknesses as I'm talking to him?
He is incredibly cool under pressure. He does not seem like he has a worry in the world. You get the sense that this is the real shark of Miller Square. While Delia, she breaks bones and causes bleeding wounds, this is the guy who really tears people's lives apart.
Okay, it's business. What's the end goal of the business?
So he tells you the end goal is to take what these people care most about. And he looks at Anthony over here. You feel like he's almost looking into your soul. Like he can tell things about you that you haven't really talked about to anybody. And he says, "Little boy, there's detectives looking for a runaway teen all throughout the city. Why don't you run on back to the industrial zone before someone lets you know that you're here?" So this is going to be what's called make a hard choice. This is going to interfere with this is either going to interfere with the goal to solve the case, or this is going to conflict with your logos of I'm never going back to my parents. And while you're figuring that out, he looks at Baku. I hear your dojo's in trouble. And he takes a money clip out of his pocket, places it on the table full of what looks to be large bills. And he says, "This money should keep you going for a few months. Take it. You wouldn't want to lose control and prey on your friends." So this is going to be a conflict between how am I different from those that I hunt, and I need this place to keep me grounded. And he looks at Talak and says, "A man like you could become a Falzoni consigliere. Isn't it time that you were respected? Just know that the Falzoni demands absolute loyalty and no questions asked." So this is going to conflict with who threatens to blot out the fifth son, and business on the streets is a game of give and take. All right.
I'd like to ask this guy a question.
Roll me and investigate.
Okay. I would like to use Snip Out Monsters and Nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Throw up a monster's senses.
Mm-hmm.
I would use predatory senses, but that one's still marked off for right now because I haven't healed from that.
Yeah, that one's still burnt.
Right. I don't think anything else applies.
Okay. So that's a power of 2.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
The mask is a 6.
Okay. So that would be an 11.
11? All right. So you generate 2 clues. I know you want to ask one question, but...
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about the second one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, so you mentioned it's just business, but what I'd like to know is how can you make money off of a dead man?
There's more than one way to get blood from a stone. We try and get, we put these people up. We give them a little bit of help. And then when they can't pay that help back, then we got to do things. But then we have other ways to get them.
Seems like a tough way of making money if they're not breathing. This guy really pisses me off.
So everybody be thinking about how you would react to his threats, basically.
Yeah.
And depending on what you choose, you might have to mark some fade or crack. So.
Okay.
I guess what I'd really like to know is, who do you work for?
So as you ask that, you see he has the status, my lips are sealed 5.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I work for the Falzoni family, and that's all you need to know about that.
I look at the dude that I can only imagine is Michael Clark Duncan sitting in this chair. Damn it.
Yeah, that's not Michael Clark
It's not
Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan.
That looks like
That's like
I'm showing them a picture of the cover
Yeah.
that has.
that looks like Handsome
Delia.
Jack from the Borderlands.
Yeah, a
And
little bit.
I'll tell your characters don't know this, but I'll tell the players this is Fabio Honeylip Santorini. So
I look at the man that I still think is Michael Clark Duncan.
okay,
Uh,
you're so beguiled that you're seeing.
We know who Ethan's man crush is.
yeah.
hey, that is a voice like butter. Okay, so
Orca. What Brady meant to say there was rest in peace, Michael Clark Duncan. I'm leaving the laughter in because we need it.
I look at him as he's sitting down and like looking at me. Like, I've evaded all kinds of investigators. Nothing's going to stop me from stopping you in this. These are helpless people that you're preying on.
All right. So mark crack on. I'm never going back to my parents. Seeing as resisting that could lead them to, information that could lead them to you. So you have that. Talak, what you doing?
Just for effect, the electricity, like you can hear it actually starting to hum in the walls because I'm just, thunderbolt manipulation. It's just like whoosh, 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 and just kind of maybe just get the scene a little bit more. It's like all my life before this, I would have said yes. I've seen what you do to people. If I'm a small fish, that's fine. I'll find my own pond. This one's too dirty.
So mark crack on
Wheeler and dealer.
right. Hold on. Yeah, whatever
That was-
has
yeah,
the business is the game.
Business
Business is the game
just
street.
It's a shame. You seem like a person that would be better suited for other goals in life, but I guess I'm a terrible judge of character. You can keep your blood money. My students really don't pay me very much anyway, so
Mark crack on. I need this place to keep me grounded. So he looks around and he goes, "Gentlemen, this is obviously getting us nowhere. Just how about you guys just go back and do whatever it is you were doing before all of this and leave me to my business. I promise I won't interfere with you if you don't interfere with me."
I punch him in the face.
All right. As you go to do that, you are going to take
Status.
amicable 3.
Ooh, I like it.
Hit him with all you got.
Him with all you got because he's not necessarily seeing, but you just as just the presence that he exudes is such that it like you kind of feel bad that you're angry, but then you also feel kind of bad that you're throwing this punch at him. So it's really like it's not like your killer instinct is not really all the way there just because of such like just the presence that he exudes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that's going to use my tags: claws, horns, and husks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, tusks. I'm sorry. There's a typo on the
I
thing.
believe it's a typo.
Nightmare devouring maws, mixed martial arts sensei, pounce from the shadows. I would also like to add Ravage otherworldly beings.
I'm not going to give you that one, and I'm not going to give you the pounce from the shadows because he can clearly
That's
see.
True. That's true. Let's see. I could use possibly throw up a monstrous senses.
No.
Okay.
And I am going to give it, and I am going to invoke the weakness less effective against sleepers.
Okay.
So you can mark attention on whichever one that one is. Well, it should be
It's whatever
less
weakness
effective, wherever the weakness is less effective on
My
sleeper.
bad.
I don't know which one that is.
That is a monster hunter. Okay. So that would put me at a +2 then.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. So go ahead and mark attention to that so you don't forget.
My bad.
Yeah.
That is 12 total.
All right. So this is a hit him with all you got.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to give him a with the amicable.
Amicable 3, I believe you
Supposed
said.
to be amicable 2. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I did that wrong.
So with that, it would be a 10 then.
Yes. So that's a 10. That's still a hit. You can do the two. You can pick 2 of those. I believe you give him a status 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either do the cover to secure position, +1 tier. There's no collateral damage with this.
Mm-hmm.
You can hold their attention, or you can gain 1 juice. So you're going to give them a power of 2. You're going to attempt to give him a status of a power of 2.
Mm-hmm.
The punch.
Want to get them good, right?
All right. So you're going to give it a +1.
Yeah. And hold the target's attention if possible, which I'm sure I did.
So you punch him, and as you hit him, you feel like you're not doing as like it feels like it was when you were punching the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really like you feel like you're not doing as much damage as you could, and he kind of just kind of touches his face and kind of spits and looks you in the eye and goes, "Now, why would you want to do that to me? I'm trying to be a friend to you." So he's going to try to give you Swayed 3.
Okay.
So you can do a face danger roll with this to try and resist his wiles. Basically, you're going to roll to try and reduce the power of that.
Okay. So that would definitely be throw up a monster senses, right?
Did you use that one for?
No, you said it wasn't applicable.
Okay, yeah.
Throw up a monster's senses, and adapt to my praise ability.
I'll give you that one. Yeah.
Would dodge apply here? Instinctive dodge?
No, because this is not a physical thing.
Yeah, right. It's a mental. He's trying to dominate me. Yeah, I think only those 2 apply.
That's going to be a power of 2. Yeah. All right.
Here we go. That is 7 on the dice, so 9.
9. All right. So
No
you're going to
minuses.
lower it by 1. So you already have the amicable 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that lowers it down to a 2 status. So we're going to bump that. That's the same status. So we're going to bump that up to a 3. So you will take a Swayed 3. All right. So you're starting to get the sense that like, oh, he's a pretty good guy. You know, maybe he's just out here trying to help these people, you know.
I really don't like this guy, but I like this guy.
All right. Anthony, what you doing?
Okay, so I get this feeling that this guy, he's having some kind of like influence, like he's swooning us almost.
Mhm.
So I would like to attempt something different. I'd like to attempt a change the game roll in
All
which in my mind I want to summon Hans and I'm imagining like some kind of like brick room where all this like furniture, books, shelves and whatnot is all around us. Like have him summon Hans and have him like swirl up some mystical like gust to like suppress this ruse that he has on us, and like to attempt to stop him from doing such to me, to Locke and Baku.
All right, so you wanted to try and
Like suppress whatever he's doing to sway us.
okay, so you're wanting to try and get rid of the
Glamour.
Yes.
yeah, because you can feel, so you could do that and use that on Baku
Yeah.
over here, because you can feel that he is starting to kind of listen to what this guy is saying.
I can see some like swirling mist around his eyes and whatnot. So, yes, I would like to change the game and to suppress those effects on him.
Okay, all right.
I would like to invoke the tags knowledge of the arcane arts, conjure fantastical creatures and objects, transform the environment, since I'm using Hans in the environment to suppress this.
Okay.
And I'd also like to invoke be there for each other.
Okay.
Weaknesses.
We're going to invoke 2 dependent on Hans.
2 dependent on Hans. That has been marked, so I am at a +3 right now.
Mm-hmm.
6, 9, 9.
All right. So that's going to give you your power was 3, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So you got 3 juice. You can use those to, since you only rolled the 9, you can do those. You can create a story tag, burn a power tag, or a story tag, or give or reduce a status 1 tier per point.
What tags are on Baku right now?
I have Suede 3. That's the only thing that's on me.
Yeah,
That's on him.
Yeah.
I would like to. Am I able to use all 3 of my juice
Yes.
to
1 to
give-
1. You can do that to reduce the status by 1.
So I imagine I'm blowing this gust. Hans is blowing this gust around the dude's head, and he's like getting like distracted, and you're able to like break out of this trance.
Okay.
All right. Talak, what you doing? You're able to get rid of that status off of him, so he's free and clear right now.
I would like to do my 1 flashback to take the risk.
Okay, so the way the flashback works is you're going to describe something that you did in the past and make a move for that action. So what describe what you did in your flashback.
All right. So before we got here, I snuck in here and I planted bombs in the main area and 1 in his desk.
Okay.
And I have the trigger ready to go.
All right. So you're going to take the risk to try and get that done.
So small time fixer to acquire the explosives, shadow and observe to know when to get in here. Driven, not driven self-aware, but definitely playing with the big boys now. Travel through bodies of water because it makes a perfect way to get through in there. And I think there was one more. I guess, flow through narrow spaces. Basically, I planted the bombs in like sizable enough cracks to like cause maximum damage. Hopefully, that would be 5. That would be power 5.
Okay, we're going to do a couple of
Okay, totally okay. With that.
We're going to do big fish in a small pond.
Big fish. That gives me my 3rd attention there. So
All right.
I will.
Just mark that, and then
I'll pick up. No, I'll pick up.
Yeah, you can use it later.
I know a guy. I'm not going to add it. I'm not going to try to add it to
no,
this one, but that's one of the reasons why I was able to get the bombs.
All
just,
right.
just again, that's for flavor, not for stats.
And then we're going
4.
to do indoor spaces as well.
That gives me my 3rd on that one as well.
Jesus.
So I will pick up the perfect storm.
That's what I like about this game. You're hindering the people, but you're also giving them something. So
Yeah.
it's
You're only fueling my weakness.
All right. So
that's why one of the
Power
improvements
3.
in the full game is to actually add a weakness tag so that you improve quicker.
8.
8. All right. So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What is your intention?
The intention here is to disrupt their operations and hurt him.
You're able to get them, and the bombs go off. Amazingly enough, it just messes with Rusty's bar. So it kind of it's going to give it's going to make it hard for Honeylip to work out of this space. But in the commotion, he's going to get away. So you lose out on being able to have him as kind of a source to find out what's been happening. But you probably want to look around and since you have the space. All right.
Investigate the space.
Yes.
So
Anthony, what you gonna do?
While the guy that we don't know is Honeylips, but we know is also Honeylips, while he's gone.
Honey Lip.
Honey Lip.
Honey Lips is the porn
character.
star
And
in that.
I think is also a character from MASH.
Hot Lips.
That was Hot Lips.
Yeah,
Sorry, my
Hot
bad. My
Lips.
bad.
Whoa.
yeah,
Honey Lip.
yeah,
While Honey Lip is gone, I'm gonna look around.
That's not going to be good for the headphones.
yeah. That's
We've hit them with giant D6s, raining D6s, and rolling forever.
Yeah, we're just trying as
D12s
hard
that
as
are
possible
D6s.
to not get,
we love you, passengers, but we hate your ears. That is
Yeah.
the tagline for the entire series, right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna look around his office, see if I can find some kind of like black book that he keeps or something like that, something hidden.
okay. All right.
I'm going to use the tags knowledge of the arcane arts in case he's hiding something with some magical influence. Transform the environment to kind of like use Hans to like push everything around, see if like in case there's like a hidden safe or something behind like a bookcase.
Okay.
I'm going to use office space because we're in office space.
No, that's
That's our
particular
office.
office.
I'm not
Ah,
going to have
dang,
that
okay.
one.
Okay. But private investigator license because
Okay.
I'm literally investigating the office.
Okay.
Any weaknesses?
No.
Okay. 7, 3, 10.
10. All right. So that is 3 clues that you generate.
Okay.
All right.
3 clues.
While you're thinking, I'd like to mention something. We're talking about when we were doing repetitive things. So, just quick while Ethan's thinking. So, on my go toe-to-toe, my tags are in this combo: claws, horns, tusks, nightmare devouring maws, and mixed martial arts sensei. And then in my hit 'em with all you've got, claws, horns, and tusks, nightmare devouring maws, mixed martial arts sensei, and pounce from the shadows. So it just adds. So it's kind of hard not to.
Well, yeah, I
when
mean,
you use
and you don't, but you don't always have to use that particular
Well,
combo
no,
of
right,
things.
right.
That's literally there to get you.
And
like,
oftentimes, depending on what you're trying to do, go toe to toe and hit them with all you got are very similar. It's just the one is when you're on even footing with somebody, and one when you're trying to try and finishing things off.
Right. Well, also when you have 9 abilities, it's kind of hard not to have overlap when it comes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Am I able to locate some kind of like black book that he keeps, where he keeps tabs on what all businesses he's strong arming?
All right. So yeah, you are able to you find a safe, and you're able to kind of crack it open with Hans, and inside is a ledger. There's also a shitload of money in there. So this ledger tracks payments, outstanding debt. You can see that basically the MO is to offer loans, but at an exorbitant interest rate. What they do is the people come in and they ask and they, it's kind of a protection racket, hey, you might, or they're trying to get them into these loans with these outrageous interest rates to where they just cannot pay them. You also see the ledger has payments for all of the dirty cops that are on the payroll, including the 2 that you met earlier. So this is something that can be used to kind of clear house at Precinct 23, maybe. So you find all that stuff. Okay. You also see like there's a pawn shop that they've been working with. That is probably like it's a trap basically to get them in a cycle of going back to the Falzonis for more loans, to try and get their stuff back, things like that. So yeah,
we should use the money in the safe to pay off the cops. I'm kidding.
We should take the money in the safe and give it back to the people of the.
Yeah, I was thinking also.
We hold on to the ledger for like the dirty cops.
So you have 2 more clues.
Yeah, 2 more clues.
What all am I able to find in regards to the mafia family that he works for? Because I know he mentioned the mafia family to
the Falzonis.
Falzonis.
Yeah. So so you're able to find an invitation to the Falzoni villa for the annual Falzoni private charity gala. It comes with the code for the dinner, and according to the date, it's going to take place about 2 weeks from now. You also looking at a calendar that's just up there. You see that date that matches that invitation circled, and it says Ambrosia on it. So that's your second clue.
Ask him, where have all the cowboys gone?
I don't really think there's anything else. Like, no other, like, loose ends that we need to ask about. Unless there's something that y'all can think of.
I think just as a simple, what were they doing here? Like, we know what came in here, but what other, like, criminal enterprises they may have been running out of here.
Okay. Am I able to see what this is going towards? Like, am I able to figure out the end goal for this strong arm ring?
You feel you get the sense that it's a regular, it's a regular racketeering scheme where they're just trying to get as much money as they possibly can. But you also get the feeling, just looking at the ledgers and everything, that there's something. They're not just after the money; they're after something else as well. There's mentions of the living dead. It doesn't really make much sense to you.
What?
Because it's not like zombies or anything like that, but you just don't understand. You don't quite understand it, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I am going to meet. I'm gonna pick up the ledger and kind of like wave at Baku and Talak to come over and like help with like gathering the money. Say that we're giving this back to the people. That this is too much off of them.
They didn't kill Sam for his money. He had something they wanted, and that he wouldn't give it to them, whatever it is. I guarantee you, it's not just about money. From what we have,
there's definitely something bigger at play here.
Yeah, you have the ledger, which tells you exactly how much money everybody should get.
Okay.
Plus, we could use this to get the cops off our ass. Hopefully.
Well, if we give it back to the people that it's owed back to, there won't be any to give the cops to. More than likely, which is fine.
I ain't giving $1 to anyone from Precinct 23.
Yeah.
If it came from the people of Miller Square.
Yeah, I have to agree with that sentiment.
None.
Yeah.
We know who the dirty cops are. That's enough knowledge as far as I'm concerned.
I'm also going to take the calendar because we need a calendar for our office.
I'm also going to take the Keurig. I will change the game for a Keurig if I have to.
He doesn't have a Keurig. He's an old school guy. He's got like a little.
I will take the percolator.
He's got a glass thing of whiskey. He's got a gramophone. He doesn't even have it's not a record player. It's a gramophone.
Oh,
he has to have a percolator. We need coffee.
No, he doesn't.
The red light does. I'll take one with the red light.
How many extra Thomas Edison cylinders does he have for his gramophone?
He's a collector.
I didn't know he was.
Magic the Gathering player.
Yeah.
No, I was about to say hipster, but it's just
we're taking a gramophone. We're taking a calendar.
So when the explosion went off, did it damage the bar?
Yeah, the bar is like it's burning, and you can in the distance you can hear like sirens. Like the fire department is probably there.
I couldn't answer one question about a guy who ran a convenience store and look at me.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Look at you now,
as I'm holding the calendar.
Rusty.
Yeah, Rusty was sleeping underneath the bar, so he's dead. No, just kidding.
The scene is us walking away from the bar, holding our fists up while don't you forget about me.
Don't you forget about me.
We are the Breakfast Club.
while not looking at the explosions, because cool guys don't look
at
explosions.
You know what? I'm not cool. I walk backwards just to look at the explosion.
Okay, so that's pretty much the end of that scene. All right, so I think we're actually going to leave that there for tonight. You have found out. So Honeylip has escaped you, but you know where he's going to be in 2 weeks' time, and you also know some of the basically all of the big wigs of the Falzoni family are going to be there. So it gives you that's going to lead us into our finale, which we will have next time that we meet with our fellow travelers. So I'm going to pass it back to Jody to finish us out.
All right. Normally, this would be the time where we would have like a lot of plugs for our friends that have other shows and have a bunch of bits that we step on each other's.
The bit stepping is throughout the show.
It is.
Yes,
That is true.
He's a habitual bit stepper. I'm sorry.
That's pretty good.
Habitual.
That's pretty good. But aside from our normal levity, we have an announcement to make for a special event that is occurring that Ethan is going to explain to us.
Friend of the show, Brendan Scott Tanner, member of the Completed podcast, also known as BST, part of Team Metamorph, Pro Tour qualifier, Magic player.
Local here to the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
But an amazing person, gaming-wise, just personality-wise. Recently, he was diagnosed with stage 3 brain cancer. It came out of nowhere. And to my knowledge, he's been paying for a lot of his doctor's appointments, a lot of his surgeries out of pocket. And so this really took him by surprise, including everyone. And so what a lot of the game stores on the Gulf Coast, McNarb Gaming, Gulf Coast Hobby, Gamers and Geeks, Jax, Pandas Dice, they have gotten together and they are going to have a BST, Brandon Scott Tanner's Brain Surgery Tournament. This is happening on Saturday, October 28th. It is going to be a Modern Unleashed tournament. Modern Unleashed is going to be no ban list. Is going to be a $30 entry for the Modern tournament with a caveat. You can pay an additional $1 for every proxy that you have in your deck. So if you're short on cards, you can pay an extra $1 to compete with a proxy deck. There's also a pay to cheat mechanic in it where you can pay $1 to draw a card at any time. So all of the proceedings from this tournament is going to be contributing to Brennan's medical expenses, surgeries, whatever. There's also going to be all sorts of raffles held throughout the day. The first raffle is going to be from the Vault's Annihilation, courtesy of Jax. And so all of the proceedings from this event is going to be 100% paid for Brennan's medical expenses.
Yeah. And real quick, just to mention, the location will be McNarb Gaming in Goshen, Mississippi. There's also around the time of our annual Halloween party around there. So there will be a McNarb After Dark. There's I think a small fee to be at McNarb After Dark. That's the annual costume contest as well. Again, those proceeds are also going to be going to Brandon and hopefully to get his medical bills paid off.
Mm-hmm. Brennan is just an amazing guy. I met him the first time when I went to Daphne for my first Modern tournament. Chillest dude I've ever met. We went over to Buddy's house afterwards. We were drinking, playing more Magic, just having fun, singing karaoke. Absolute chill dude.
If you want to find out any more information on being able to donate to Brandon Scott Tanner, and also for the event times and everything like that and the prize support, you can go to the McNarb Gaming Facebook page. Mm-hmm. It's probably the best place to go there to look up all that information.
I believe there's either a Venmo link or a Venmo tag that is on the announcement for this to be able to donate as well.
Yeah, if you're not able to make it to the event, but you still want to contribute to Brennan's expenses, there is a QR code for a Venmo link. So yeah, this is gonna be an amazing event for an amazing person. So anyone's welcome.
And for me, I've never met him. I don't believe I've ever met him personally, but I know him through the Completed podcast, and him and Chris Vega and Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith.
Yes.
My apologies.
A lot of Brandons in the
a lot of them, absolutely. But their camaraderie, especially when they're talking about road stories, reminds me so much of myself and my friends Will Hamilton, Will Furr, Philip Perkins, of course my oldest friend, one of my oldest and best friends, Flannel, Jay Gary, when we were in the Ole Miss Gaming Club and playing Magic and Warhammer and things like that. And it's those stories are what kind of bind us all together, because while they may have been different people in different places and different times, they're all about similar themes, and that's about friendship. You can really feel that those guys are friends, and it's through that lens of gaming that they got together. And he is as bright a part of that show, in my opinion, as anybody else on that show. And I just think it's a fucking tragedy. And I apologize for cursing, but it's a fucking tragedy that someone this young has to go through this. Brandon, we love you, man. We do. And we hope the best for you. Hope to see you there in October when we're doing all the festivities. And keep your chin up, man. Keep your chin up.
Yep. We will be. Oh
no, I was just yeah,
exactly. 100% Jay on everything that you said there. We will be taking a 1 week break, so we will be back after next week to continue
City of Mist and
the show
and the finale.
The finale of City of Mist.
We're coming after Honeylip.
Yeah.
So I think with everything else, I've been Jody Kite.
I've been Ethan Skinner.
I said it was Ethan Skinner, but I'm actually James McCarthy.
Yes.
and I'm Brady Davis.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for stopping by and enjoying the ride, guys. We love you, Brandon.
Be more nerd.